Alright. So game 1 against Steven, a shaman. So we're going first. So a shaman is not all that likely to play something with 1 health early on. Blood Imp is obviously great to keep. The question is, do we keep the Golem? With so many 1s in our deck, I probably would drop the Golem here and try to pick up a Flame Imp or a 2-drop at least. So I'm going to drop both these and keep the Blood Imp. Okay, well, could be worse.
I greet you.
Now here's a really tough decision every time you play a Warlock like this. It's whether you Blood Imp on turn 1 or not. If you're going first especially. Because if the opponent plays a Mad Bomber, your Blood Imp is very likely to die. However, if you don't play it on turn 1, then you have to find the mana for it later on. So generally, if I have a turn 2 play, I will risk the Bomber on 1. Or excuse me, yeah, I mean risk the Blood Imp on 1 and hoping that the opponent doesn't have a Bomber. Now against the Shaman, it's worth noting that there are Forked Lightnings, which are pretty common. So you want to make sure that your second minion you play, if possible, has enough health to survive Forked Lightning. With a Blood Imp out, our second minion will have enough health because it's a Pyromancer. So we'll play him. He'll be a 3/3 because of the Blood Imp's 1 health buff. And therefore he survives this or a Forked Lightning if the opponent plays it. So the hope is that our opponent doesn't have another 2, but since he coined this out, almost certainly does. Stormforged Axe would be quite strong here. He could take out our 3/3 with the help of his 2/2 there. There's the Forked Lightning. Okay.
There's little time.
Now he should attack our... Well, no, actually he shouldn't. No, he's going to. That's probably okay. Since he has the taunt, he forces the hand. So I could tap and play Blood Imp, but the Blood Imp would not allow our Pyromancer to survive this engagement anyway. And if we tapped, there's nothing that we could draw that would allow us to kill this guy without this dying, since any spell cast would kill the Pyromancer anyway. So I'm going to maximize my mana expenditure, play the Hunter, and then we do the trade. So far the game's even, 1 for 1. The good news is that because Forked Lightning has 2 Overload, our opponent didn't have any play on his turn there. So that's pretty good. So here I will play a 4, since I have 2 4s and a 1. And lately in my Hearthstone play, I've been trying to focus a lot more on maximizing mana usage. Try not to float mana whenever possible. It's a good practice to get into, essentially. And usually, not always, but usually spending all your mana in your turn will give you more strength on the board than you otherwise would have. Oh wow, there's the double bruise. Okay, so I think the best play here will be 4/4 and 1/1 into this. That'll kill this, the 1/1 will die. And then Brewmaster our 4/1 back. So we kind of effectively save him from dying to 1 miscellaneous damage. The other option is to Blood Imp and use these two to kill this, and this one go down to 1. It'd be a 2/1, and save our boar. But I don't think I care that much about the boar. So I also don't. Well, let me think about my next turn. Next turn I'm probably going to play a 4 and life tap, so I should play the Blood Imp here. The downside is it's susceptible to Lightning Storm, but it will prevent both these, well, this in particular, from dying to said Lightning Storm. So if the opponent played that, it would be a 1-for-1, unless he got spell damage. Okay. So that's fine. Alright, we got a Crusader for 3, which is probably not ideal. So let's see, if we hit this goes down to 3. This kills the 2/1 that pops up, the 1/1 remains. Then we life tap and play the Magi, since I don't need to Brewmaster or anything right now. Since this will not be in danger of dying to that yet. These will all be susceptible to Lightning Storm, however. So I'm going to life tap first. It's always a good idea to do that. Ooh, does that change our play? No, not really. I should think a bit about positioning, though. I'm going to play this over here so I can potentially Argus these two and protect my Blood Imp and my big guy later on. So next turn, probably Argus and Crusader, unless I have reason to Brewmaster something. Or, actually, no, that's a lie. Probably Champion, unless he clears a lot of my stuff. So I'd expect a Fire Elemental, if he has one in his hand, to kill this. If he doesn't, the next best thing would be a Dark Iron Dwarf buff on this, or Shattered Sun Cleric. Okay, there's the Dark Iron. So he almost certainly doesn't have Fire Elemental, which is good news for us. Okay, so 4/5 kills his 4/1, or 4/4, 2/2 kills the totem. Generally, it's a good idea to kill totems against the shaman. Alternatively, no, that's fine. So I'm going to Brewmaster this back after killing this to, again, effectively heal it. And then we'll play the Crusader as well. And we'll keep the Champion in our back pocket for now. So positioning. So I would like the Crusader to have taunt most likely. So I'll put her on the right with the Razorfin. Again, when I Argus. So next turn we can Magi and Argus. Is the likely play. So I said I was going to play an aggressive deck, but turns out I'm not. I completely forgot. I mean, I don't have the, like, look at my hand. This is pretty much all my high end. So I guess you kind of play what you're given. But okay, so we have a couple choices. Again, it depends how much I want to risk getting destroyed by lightning storm. But I'm not too worried about it. Even if he cleared the board right now, we would still be in a good spot. Since we have a lot of health, we can life tap, and we would be even on cards. So I think the best play is sack the 2/2 into that. Kill the 3/3 with this. Well, no. I'll use this to kill that. This to kill the totem, that to kill that.
Another round.
And we'll keep everything alive for now. Alright, and then 8. So I want to play the Magi. And I want to try to get things out of Lightning Storm range. So I'm going to buff these two guys who will guaranteed die to Lightning Storm. And now 3 health means he has to get a 50% chance for Lightning Storm to kill these. Unless he has spell damage.
The Frost Wolves stand ready.
Alright. I'm pretty sure he would Lightning Storm there if he had it, so I'm going to assume he does not, which means we're in a good spot. So let's see, we have 4, 8, 11, 14, 15, 20 damage, plus 6, 26. So I should probably just go for his face and let him worry about the trades. It'd be very difficult for him to recover with 2 health, even with 2 minions in the board. So I'm going to life tap first. Ooh, Mortal Coils. Not bad here. I have spell damage out, so it's 2, which is pretty good. I don't want to Siphon Soul this, because that would be ridiculous. So I'll play this. And we'll kill the Warlord just to be a little safe. I'm going to attack with my Blood Imp because it's protected by taunts. And the opponent is threatened with severe lethal, obviously. I like that. That's good. Alright, well, that's game. I can't do exact damage. Oh, yeah, I could have. I had a 5 and a 2. Whoops. Alright, well, that went well. Surprisingly, you got very few low-cost cards. I mean, we saw, what? A Pyro, 2 Blood Imps, and a Raider, I think? Was it? For the 1s and the 2s? So, I don't know. Sometimes it happens. But it worked out fine. And I only life tapped once, I believe. Or maybe twice. It's very few times, though, as a Warlock. Alright, game 2 against Jaws, a mage. Alright, well, we have a mana curve, and it's surprisingly good against a mage if the Blood Imp survives, because then the Loot Hoarder cannot be killed by his hero power. So we're going to drop the champion, try to get another low-cost card here. Alright, well, that's low cost, which is what I asked for. So pretty much we play everything on curve and then coin when we need to. Ooh, well, now we got this. Actually, that changes things. So I think the best play is to coin these two both out right now. The downside of this play is this will draw his Frostbolt immediately if he has one. Which means we're down 3 health. Ooh, Bomber. Yes. Thank you, Bomber. You are the greatest. Double Mortal Coil. Huh. That's very tempting, but I think would be a mistake. So I will just play this and attack his face. And I said aggro was what you're supposed to go to. One thing to keep in mind against mages or anything that has a targeted attack, hunters, make sure you keep your stealth stuff in the middle so he can't Kono Cold all three of these at once. That's the idea. So he'll probably trade for the 3-2. Wow, he's not going to. That's interesting. So I should use my lure to kill this 3-2 and draw. Let's see what I get.
Hey, give me that!
Okay. So I could kill that and then Mortal Coil the result, but then I wouldn't be able to do anything after that. So I think instead I will play the Hunter
Don't mess with us.
and go for the face again. Ooh, that's a little wonky. Now the question is whether this is actually where these are, because there's, you know, a pretty common bug with positioning your minions. So it doesn't matter right now, but if I draw Argus, it's probably going to mess me up not knowing where these actually are in the board.
What to do? What to do?
You call that?
Dark Iron. So does he kill the 2-4? No, he's going more aggressive than I am. That's pretty insane. Okay. So I can clear his board.
I wonder.
That goes into that. Mortal Coil finishes it. These two kill that. Mortal Coil finishes the 2-1. The problem is everything dies on my side. But given the aggression that he's playing, and because I would draw back cards, I think that's okay. It's a little scary, but I think I'm going to do this one first in case I draw a Shadow Bolt. I get killed that guy. That's interesting, but not relevant. I mean, I can play it, which is good. Okay. Play the Pyro. So the game is pretty even. We're in a slight lead with basically even health. We will have
What to
he has
do?
5 cards. We will have 7 on our turn in total. So the only danger here is that as sort of an aggressive style deck, we've not done much in terms of damage. So he killed our Blood Imp with a 1-for-1 Arcane Explosion, which is not that bad actually for us, since we have another one. And he's setting up for this to not be able to kill, be killed by the Pyromancer. So we should kill this now before he plays more spells and buffs it. So we'll play the Blood Imp and the Magi. And then next turn we can play the Elune or Siphon. Of course this means he does get to ping this, but he'll spend 2 more mana on it. Unless he has Blizzard or something. So that'd be 4 mana spent on the Pyromancer in addition to a card, which is pretty solid. Was that a farce here? Something that can heal? He was targeted, obviously. So...
I've got
Oh, I see.
heat.
Huh. that. So the fact that he could have killed this right then makes me question why he would hit this. My suspicion is he's setting up for Flame Strike, because usually you're trying to get minions low
So many
for that purpose.
possibilities.
So normally I would try to spend all my mana, but spending all my mana means Priestess of Elune is coming out, and she will die to a Flame Strike. So instead I will Ventrico, float 1 mana, and use the 3/1 to kill the 4/2.
I wonder.
So I want to play Ventrico on the left. Now, it could be that he doesn't have Flame Strike, but usually when an opponent gets your minion that's above 4 health to 4 or below on turn 6, in preparation for 7, that's kind of what they're seeing. Alright, so he's trying to target my stealth with a Cone of Cold, I assume.
What to do?
So this is a really important turn for him. If he can't stop our big minion, he's going to take some severe damage. And we're at a decent health level. Okay, what's going on? So that's pretty good. He got a 1-for-1 because he kills the Blood Imp. And he freezes this, so he can't attack, obviously. So next turn, probably Life Tap and Bloodsail Raider, unless we draw something better.
Time runs out on me.
Now if he pings that, that will be very interesting. Okay, so yeah, he's got to have Flame Strike. I don't see why you would ping that. Unless you're preparing. The question is, how much do I offer up to Flame Strike? If that's what it is. It has to be. I just can't imagine why you would do that. So let's see. If he Flame Strikes, this dies. This lives at 1. Because he already coined, I believe. Oh no, I went second. What am I saying? So yeah, this lives. He'll be at 7 next turn. So I'm going to Life Tap. That's a pretty good draw, but it doesn't help us right now. And then I'm going to save the Raider and just end the turn. And the ironic part here is if he was playing a Flame Strike, this would not be a very good use of it. So even if he has it in hand, we may not be able to prove our theory. Which is always the downside of playing against a mage. You play in fear constantly of these spells, and then you never even know if they're there or not if the opportunity doesn't arise because you played around it. Alright, a wolf. Not a good drop. A secret that he just drew. And there's another ping. So again, Flame Strike City. So I think I will smack this attack in. And then probably Brewmaster this back. Since he's wasted, again, he's pinged this twice, similar to our other minion that he'd spent 2 pings on the Pyromancer. So by effectively returning this to our hand and healing it, we've wasted 4 of his mana, which is pretty significant. So I'm going to kill this. Yeah, I'll kill this. Then I'll play a minion in case it's Mirror Entity. Wait, shit. But if it is Mirror, I don't want to give him a Brewmaster. Well, yeah, that's alright. I can kill it with my 4/3. Okay. So I better kill it, because again, I suspect Flame Strike. I don't want him to have a 5/4 out. Yeti's pretty good. Okay. Blood Imp is not bad here. It would push all of our 4 health guys, like our Loon and our Brewmaster, to 5, which means it would require his ping plus the Flame Strike to kill. It would also allow this to just kill that outright. I could Siphon, but I'm a little leery of a major in-game minion. So I think I will kill this after Blood Imping, and then Brewmaster it back. Again, effectively healing it.
Another round? I'll put it on your tab.
And then life tap. Ah. So I don't really want to play the Raider. Because of Flame Strike potential. So next turn with 10, I'll probably Illume. So here comes the Flame Strike. Alright, so he showed us the fact that he had it for a long, long time, and finally we see it. But that's fine. Just have to keep our health a little bit high enough not to be pyroblasted to death. We have plenty of cards. So I'm going to bet, or hope, that he doesn't have another Flame Strike. But if he does, the best bet is to Priestess and then heal it again, or play it again. Yeah.
I am not a morning person.
Okay. So we could Shadow Bolt that next turn when it becomes a 1/4. I get the feeling he's not going to do anything else. Yeah, that's his turn. Or we can just kill it and leave the 1/1 on the board. If he has a Dark Iron Dwarf, the 1/1 will kill our 5/4. But that wouldn't be the end of the world. So I think that's the best play. And then put out some weak minions, like these guys. I can deal with the 1/1. Alright, so we'll do 2 Novice. Mortal Coil is pretty good. We can kill that. And then play the Ventrico. Yeah, that's fine. Unless we draw something better. No, not.
Another round?
Oh my god. Minion swapping is so frustrating. Alright. So again, even though health levels are even, I mean the card advantage is insane. So he would need some pretty outstanding draws. Ooh, that's good. That's really good. I guess that's okay. So he's got 8 damage on board, so we can't really afford to leave that stuff there in case His last card is Pyroblast, which is very unlikely, but it's possible.
So many
So I think Shadow
possibilities.
Bolting one, this one, is the best bet. And then we have 7 mana remaining, which we can't do a lot with. Probably the Golem is our best. Let's see, now he would kill it with that. Well, no, he'll kill this. What am I saying?
I wonder.
Yeah, that's fine. So we're going to float 1 mana. But I think it's worth doing 7 damage to him for that. I don't want to Siphon Soul this thing. Since we don't have a lot of direct damage we can use on the hero. In fact, none, now that I think of it.
What to do?
We're going to have to kill him with minion damage, so it's in our interest to get as much of that in as possible. So I only have 6 cards left. It's been a pretty slow game. Early on, I looked like I was being able to put on a lot of pressure, but he had much stronger minions than I got. Essentially with the buffed Harvest Golem and Dark Iron Dwarf combo. Huh, that's an interesting ping. So he has 8 mana and he didn't pull anything. He must have direct damage in his hand. I can't think of any reason why he would do that. Alright. I think heal, Crusader, Flame Imp. No, that might be too aggressive. Because if he had Flame Strike, he could kill everything except a 2/1 coming out of the Golem. So just Priestess and Crusader is good. Hang on to the Flame Imp. Essentially, pinging this to 2 makes me suspect Blizzard. So if that was the case, the Flame Imp would die anyway. Alright, here comes some AE. Kind of cold or Blizzard or... No, Arcane Explosion. Not great. You gotta play a taunt, a heal, or kill our dude.
What to do? What to do?
Shields up!
You call that?
What? Well, that was a mistake. Why would you do that? He could have given his 4/4 taunt, and he would have lived another turn based on what he got on the board. Well, whatever. Okay, anyway, so that turned into a very long game, but pretty much one-sided for the most part. Surprising amount of value out of those Brewmaster battle cries. Usually don't get that much.